Hey, this is Ian Cleary. Welcome back to the RazorSocial YouTube channel. You are very, very welcome here. Always welcome. So what we're going to talk about today is about a content conversion funnel. I love talking about this because it's really close to my heart about converting through content. Because content is very time consuming to produce. And we need to be very strategic about the content we produce. And we need to have that funnel in place that takes people from reading a piece of content all the way through to converting to being a customer. And then eventually actually telling people about how good we are. Okay, so what I want to do is step through a 5-step process. I'm going to start off with awareness, so people need to be aware of us before actually buy it from us. Then there's consideration, so they're going to consider buying from us. And then there's conversion, so they actually buy at that stage. Don't forget about retention. No point do they convert and then they give up within a week or don't use our product. We need to focus on retention. And then straight after that is advocacy. So once we retain, we have happy customers, then we want them to tell other people about us. Okay, so you're ready to go through this 5-step process. I think it's going to be very useful. If you're writing content, you'll get a lot of value from this 5-step process. Number 1, awareness. So people need to be aware of what you're doing. So that's where you create your blog content or maybe YouTube content. You create your blog or YouTube content or podcast so people hear about you. Now, it's just as important to have content on your site as other people's sites as well. We're launching a product soon which is top secret. Completely top secret. Well, I'll tell you because you're a YouTube subscriber. One of the things we'll be doing is creating content on our own site, but guest posting a lot of different sites because we want other audience to hear about what we're doing. So within the first couple of months, we want to establish that software product very quickly. So that'll be through writing on our own site and guest posting on a range of other sites. So we drive traffic and create attention on other sites and drive people back to our site. So that's awareness. We want people aware of what we're doing. Social media is a great way of making people aware as well. When you create fantastic content, and you need to create fantastic content, that will get shared like crazy through other sites. You're better off with a smaller amount of content, but better quality content, because that's the only way you're going to stand out. So get that content down and get people hearing and talking about you in a good way, and that's going to drive awareness and that's going to bring people to your site. And once you get people to the site, then it's move on to the next stage. Second phase is consideration. So people are aware of you, but you want to get them to take the next level. So what is the next level? Well, they could come to your site and they might sign up for an opt-in, or you might have a pop-up coming up on your site to get people to opt in. So you give people a good incentive to stay in contact. Because when people are visiting your site and reading your content, they may not necessarily want to buy immediately. So when they sign up as an email, you need to make sure as well you're not like really pushing sales down people's throat. So you want to send a series of emails that's offering value after they sign up, because they're still considering getting to know you, build a level of trust. So number 2 is consideration. Number 3, conversion. So this is where you want to convert people. So this is where maybe in an email sequence, you provide an offer at the end of an email sequence. You run an offer to your list at any stage, or you provide the opportunity to buy the product or service to your website. So just because they have signed up as an email subscriber doesn't mean that they won't go back to your website and actually buy at that stage. So you want them to buy, immediately or at a later stage through email, or just go back visiting your website. Another good tactic is to retarget your email subscribers for ads related to your products and services, and that brings them back to your product or service. So hopefully during consideration phase, you've built a relationship, you've started to provide more valuable and useful content, so then it makes it much easier when you get to the conversion stage. So number 4 is retention. Yes, you want to keep people. How do you keep people without tying them up? But you want to keep people, well, one thing is in software, you hear a lot of talk about onboarding. And not as much in information-based products or consultancy services, but onboarding is trying to get people to get the maximum benefit out of your products or services. So onboarding could be when somebody signs up, you send a series of emails which teaches people how to get value out of your product or service. That's one part of onboarding. Or for example, you log into the product and there's really good help to navigate you through the product. Because what happens a lot of the times is people don't get the value. So if you can get the value, that's going to help you retain. So think about your onboarding process. And last but not least, advocacy. This is where you want people to say brilliant things about your product. I was watching a presentation from Traffic and Conversion recently, and Syed Balki, who's a really smart guy, said for this tool opt-in monster, after 7 days they follow up with an automatic email looking for a testimonial. So automate that as part of your process. I've heard before, I don't know whether this is true or not, who knows, is that if somebody gives you a testimonial, they're more likely to continue recommend the product because they had to think about, do I recommend this product? So when they actually wrote down a recommendation, then they sort of went ahead and start talking to more people about the product because they wrote that down. I don't know whether it's true or not. That's what I heard. Advocacy is when you get people to give you that testimonial and support you. So that was one tactic I had used was, after 7 days, follow up an automated email. Another tactic he used was offered a $10 Amazon gift card for somebody providing a video testimonial. And there's tools available which allow you to easily capture people on video. So you can send a link and they put a video and send it back to you. So that's advocacy. So you really want to work out how you get people to support what you're doing after they buy the products and services. So that's the 5 stages. The 5 stages, content marketing is super powerful if you follow the steps and understand that there's a bit of a lag time between when somebody visits your website to somebody buys, and you need to think about all them stages. And that is it. So thank you very much for tuning into this episode. I hope you found it interesting and valuable, and hopefully you'll come back for more. Talk to you soon. Bye.